African Oxygen, otherwise known as Afrox, Sub-Saharan African leader in the gas and welding products industry. Controlled by a German multinational, the Linde Group. They also produced the same stuff on a global basis. They bought BOC, which in turn had owned the controlling stake in Afrox. It's got a market cap of 7.4 billion rand, price to earnings ratio of about 23, dividend yield of 0.7. And Tsepo, this one's been a bit of a bumpy performer. They seem to have issues with, obtaining carbon dioxide from the refineries and, all sorts of production-related issues. Their customers haven't always been doing all that well either because of strikes and so on in the auto industry. But I don't know. I mean, am I missing something here?
I don't think so, Paul. I think a few years ago, this was a business that was cooking on gas, if I can.
Much beloved.
Much beloved, and seemed to go through a hiccup. I think it's become a mature business, if I can call it that, that's really trying to find its way. We're seeing more emphasis on cost cutting as opposed to growing top line over the last few years. As you say, underlying customers, specifically in this year, aren't likely to be doing well. So I don't know what that means in terms of earnings outlook going forward. So yeah, it's had an iffy period.
It's quite a mixed customer base though, because it's everything from carbon dioxide sold into the Coca-Cola and drinks industry, and then the hospitals take a lot of oxygen and its related products, and then the domestic sector with LPG. So quite a varied business. But it has a nice management. They brought that guy, Brett Kimbo, I think it's a South African, but it worked in the Linde Group out here. But sometimes these local subsidiaries of the global groups, you get the feeling that whether they do well or don't, is not really all that. They don't care about the minorities. I'm sure they care about the profits, but in their world, the South African operations are probably less than 1% of Linde's global profits. So they really manage it for the long term. And quite how you're going to do as a minority here is not so clear.
Yeah, look, I think that's an important point you raise. The decisions that are made here will be to the benefit of the Linde Group, not necessarily to the. I'm not necessarily saying that those aren't related to you as a shareholder here, but if there was a conflict, you'd expect the decision to be made to
so it could be bumpy in terms of the cycles,
Yeah.
Okay, so overall, not hot?
Look, operationally not doing superbly well in terms of valuations. I don't think they're that brilliant. They don't pay the best of yields, so not hot for me.
Okay, good. Not hot for me.